Okay, this week in lawn care 1. So I am in back garden. This hasn't been cut for just over 2 weeks. 17 days, pretty sure. Yeah, so Friday just gone 2 weeks ago. Well, it's kind of half cut, really. Well, half, sort of, kind of cut, like not cut with a mower. It was kind of sort of trimmed because I think the ground was kind of wet. I couldn't bother to get the mower out and do it for some reason. I thought, oh, quicker. It seems we've now got some sort of springy flower things. Like we've got a what's it called? Wild primrose coming through here. Obviously got daisies. That's just some sort of weed thing. Like that, because there used to be path things here. We're going to be working on getting all this redone this year. Like we've got some. My dad bought some bark chippings or whatever earlier from Aldi. It's going to be put down at the end here for trampoline to sit on, so it's not, going on all the grass and killing it. And then we'll just all clear everything else and just make it all nice. And I would hope to just returf the whole lot because it'll be better. That doesn't work at the moment. I reckon it's the carburetor again. So I've got it on the full choke and stuff. You pull the cable with a cord and start it. It just won't do anything. And this cord is very loose now, so it doesn't go all the way back in. Doesn't feel as strong. So I reckon it's gonna. If it is the carburetor, it's gonna need a new carburetor. So just change it. Because previously, when it was fixed, it was just cleaned. I reckon it's going to need a new carburetor and it's going to need a new pull cord. Hopefully that can be done by Uncle at some point, if he can come and pick it up again. The other week or so, I got a new blade for my Flymo, which is in there. Used that last week, actually. A week ago, I used that on the front, and it seems to work okay. Much better than the other one, because it just literally teared at the grass, didn't cut it. It was so blunt. Yeah, I've got this one. This is just dirty because it hasn't actually been used for ages. Because I was cutting long grass that hadn't been cut yet this year, and it was raining at the same time, so it all just sort of sticks to the mower when it's all wet and long. So that's going to need a wipe. You just wipe it all down to make it look nice again. Yeah, so I think just any little things like that I think are worth keeping for now. Obviously, I'll just mow around it like that. A lot of moss here as well. We've got another one of those things here as well. So, I could probably just get rid of those daisies because it's just lots of weeds here. I'm trying to get a lot of the weeds out. There's lots of holes, so. I don't know what that is. I think it's probably the same as that, to be honest. It's just some other weed thing. I'll maybe just keep that. These bits are just old bits from the Flymo last year. It's old grass sticks at the sides. That's just a massive dandelion that can come out. That's a daisy. I don't know why I have sort of pink bits on them before they open up. That's a dandelion. That's the yellow flower in Minecraft, by the way. Yeah. So I'll just give this bit a cut because it's the only bit that I can really cut, and then obviously behind there. Yeah. See you after. So that's done. I've done this bit and behind there and just that bit as well. I've left that, and all that just cut. Some of it's getting flattened or not even getting cut at all, or not really looking that different because it was cut shorter. Because obviously the strimmer doesn't have a height setting, it just kind of cuts where. So it's like if you keep on cutting the grass short and you're trying to raise it up, it's like doing that. The first time you raise it up, it's not going to do anything. After a couple cuts, it's going to actually get to that length. It's like, I don't know, hair, for example. If you have been cutting it shorter for ages and you're trying to grow out to a longer length, I don't know, so for example, like me, I was doing it like a 0 and I wanted to get to a 2. For a couple of weeks, it's not really going to do anything. But once it gets a little longer, every time you keep on doing it at that length, then it will. So yeah, I've done this. This bit was longer because it was just covered up by the mower for ages. Whereas the other bits wasn't really doing too much because it was just sort of out in the open. This bit was all trimmed last time, so it's still looks like it's still growing back from that, as you can see, the bits at the back. That was about 2 weeks ago, it's already grown back that much. Don't think it was cut that well back there, but yeah, we've got some primroses coming through here because this has always been the wild side. This has never been really that good, except when it was returfed back in June, July 2013. But the borders were still, yeah, it was better back then, but it's just the thing to get dumped on here. This is like the dumping side of the garden, and it's just, this is what would have normally been the main side, even though we've got a trampoline right there, but it's just so we just dump whatever and then it sits there, kills everything off for about a year. Then we move it and it's too late. So it's going to be this area that's all going to be turned into a bit of trampoline. So it's probably going to be up to about here, I would imagine, maybe where the mower wheel is, up about here. It's all just basically so this can fit on. All this will be dug out, turned over, all this will be cleared. And then we'll use some of these old path things, sleepers, to make like an edge, and then we'll put that in to have like a base. And I don't know, I'm pretty sure we can use some of those slabs to sort of make it like an even level or something, so it doesn't all, rock around and it could like fall over. So you don't want someone to jump on that and it just like go crashing down on the ground. That would not be good. It'd be funny, but not good. So yeah, that will be done probably. That will be all starting to clear this next week, I would imagine, because my dad has his week off from work, and yeah, this was all dirt last year, and it's all just been left because we started to clear it, but there's so much ivy. You can see there's clear so much ivy off. So I mean, because you couldn't really maintain this if you had all big shrubs in the way. And so yeah, this was all dirt last year, and it's now just all grown in sort of weeds and grass and stuff. But it will soon be tidied up. Hello, popcorn. So yeah, this is back on the default height, basically the height setting that you would get if you've got this mower out of the box, which is the third setting up. So there's 4 settings. It's from 1.8 centimetres all the way up to 3.7. Normally I would cut the front. Whenever I do the front of this, it would be on the high, so it should be 3.7 centimetres, because I want to get as long as possible and not, because it's still new grass. You don't want to shave it all off and it all goes weeds. It'd be like, what's the point of spending like £100 and all that when you just can just let it be as bad as it was before. So at the moment this is 3 centimetres. So I reckon 1.8 is the lowest, obviously, and I reckon the second one is 2.5, so that's an inch for Americans, and 3 is the third one, and then 3.7. 3.8 or whatever. I think it's 3.7 centimetres, but it's all millimetres and all that. So yeah, obviously this is a manual one, so it's not going to go up too high, but I would have liked it to go up at least just one more setting. Because if you're cutting quite long grass, well, you're not going to do it with this, but or if you're going to trying to keep some grass longer, then 3.7 is kind of like basically quite low for a normal mower, but cylinder ones are meant to go lower anyway. So yeah, I mean, it's been done. Oh, bye cat. Yeah, so I'll just sort of have a go out into those bits now. I think I'll do the side of that and then their front, because I've been done for a little while. Oh yeah, and I'll show you the front as well. Well, we actually haven't seen that for over a month, nearly 5 weeks since I've done the Westland. I've since done another lot of that at the moment, and 2 out of 4 of my daffodils are flowered. So two of the ones in the middle, which is nice because it needed. Well, didn't need it. It's nice to actually have something there, not just like. So it just always looked like for weeks it was about to flower, but it just wasn't. I reckon it's because the front always end up getting in shade quite a lot for quite a bit of the day. Like in the morning it's in shade, and then when it goes into afternoon and evening it's in shade. So it doesn't really done it as it's like still early in the year. It doesn't really get enough like sunlight to flower. Oh yeah, we've got some there as well. We don't plant them; they're just sort of appear. So yeah, it's nice to actually flowers now. And over the weekend, I think it was Saturday or Sunday morning. Yeah, it was Sunday morning. We went into clocks went forward. So I think it went from like 12:59 a.m. to 2. So basically just like missing out because even though we get 1 hour less in bed, we just get more daylight. Because if this was like December or something, it would basically just be dark right now. It is like probably 5 o'clock or something, or past 5 o'clock, it would be pitch black. But it's nice now we're actually going in to spring and stuff. Oh, hello, cat. And I think this one needs to be cut as well, because it hasn't been done for like 17 days. This done with a strimmer, obviously, because this is just a rough bit. This is like the bits that I dug up last year. I was hoping to put seed down, but I never bought any. This bit's still just sort of growing like forget-me-nots and the yellow flowers. I don't even know what that one is. This bit's different here because during the winter, when it was all just bald, when it was basically just like dirt, cars, like if they were parking or they were reversing, they would end up just like driving over this bit. So this was, even if this was seeded, this bit wouldn't be alive. I mean, it's fine. I just wanted to all this was all overgrown anyway from all this. And this is all like really sort of quite low down now, basically. But yeah. So yeah, I'll probably cut this as well because it hasn't been done for ages. And this bit as well. This has always been, I'd say, the better bit because it's mainly just grass here. All that there is all rough stones, weeds. This hasn't been done the 1 to 2 weeks. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, because last time I done on the low setting on that. Just to cut it as short as possible. And it did put a stripe in it. But it's grown back enough now that I can do it on the default setting, which is better. Oh, they got a new fence as well during the winter. I think it's like January or something, because their old one, they had all the old one stuff. It was all just falling down. Like, there was this panel here that I literally had to be held up by a wooden plank for a year, sort of diagonally positioned inside the garden, because I think there was like a windstorm. It just blew it all down because it was all just wood. There wasn't any posts and stuff. Like we've got a new fence panel and a gate finally after years. So yeah, it definitely does look so much better now. But for ages, like, especially when doing the first cut, it was all quite rough along here because all the rubble and stuff, all that turned over dirt that was left from when it was done in the winter, and obviously it makes the ground go all muddy and everything and all uneven. But I mean, it's fine now anyway. Let's go and see the front. So this is the front. This was last done on the low setting without the bag on, just sort of grass went everywhere. It wasn't as bad because it was already being cut a couple of times before that, so like maybe a week's worth of some growth. So yeah, this will be done in the normal setting again. Stripe it. I'll get the bag as well, actually. I think they're having a barbecue over there. I wonder what that like. sort of smoky smell was. I'm sure you know down a barbecue, but I mean it is actually a nice warm day today where you can go outside in like a short sleeved shirt and not be cold. Hello, the cat. Both the cats saying hello. Hello, cats. This is the meow. This is the front. You can't really see much of it, but yeah, you really can't see. Oh, I don't know. Can you? Oh, I can't really see the screen that well because of the sun. But yeah, this is the front. This has been 5 days since I put the second lot of Westland Safe Lawn on it. It got cut a week ago by the Flymo. Actually turned out alright. I thought it was going to be really terrible looking. But yeah, it's basically the same as the manual one. It just sort of lasts a bit longer because the manual one kind of it just flats bits out. It doesn't really cut some of it because I guess because it has a roll on the back. And if it's longer, it may not cut it all. So yeah, it's all grown. So we're planting our flower seeds.
I didn't think I had back then. I just thought it was just usual.
And this is some daffodils that are finally flowering. They're not really standing up straight, but so we got other two, and I'm pretty sure they're tulips there. I don't know if they're going to do anything or if they're just going to look like that. Hello, Bob. What are you doing? Eating grass from next door. I done this like probably nearly 2 weeks ago as well on the lowest setting. It just got grass everywhere. I had one cut before that, but it was quite rough. But yeah, it's growing back now. It's just a thing. They can do it now. And then I'm done. And then at the same time, when the reason why the mower is all covered in mud and grass and stuff. So I was cutting. This was the worst because it was the first cut on this one. It's coming back quite a bit now. This was cut on the lowest setting. Grass went everywhere. All it needs really now, well, obviously another cut, but all it needs is just the strimmer around the edges. The people who live here don't actually have a strimmer, so I don't know. And obviously they've got a new mower now, like a knockoff Flymo Spear and Jacks thing from Argos. But yeah, I don't know if, because I've got a strimmer obviously, I don't know if they'll always want me to just do the strimming and then she can do the mowing. Because if you just, if you let all the sides go really long, it doesn't really look neat. Sure, the grass is getting cut, but I mean the edges need to be done as well. Obviously that bit along there can get cut with the mower, but it's just little bits along borders and over there, sort of in bits the mower can't actually reach, like around the tree and stuff as well. But all along there can get cut with the mower, but still. So yeah, this is the front. This won't be cut until Wednesday because I think you're supposed to leave it a week for the stuff to just sort of work its way in. And it has seeds, like grass seed mixed in as well, so you don't want to just like put it down and a couple of days later you cut it. Well, probably okay with a manual one, because it's not going to pick anything up, but if like a electrical petrol or something, one that sucks it up as well, it will just suck all the stuff that you put down. So I usually leave it a week for a cut anyway. A week, 2 weeks. At the moment it's usually been 2 weeks because, during March most of it's going to be just all cold, wet and stuff, and you can't really do anything. And it's just starting to grow, so it will be slower. So you can leave it for 2 weeks, whereas during, maybe give it a month, you left it for 2 weeks, it would be way too long. But yeah. So it'll probably be done with Flymo again, maybe. Or maybe I'll do it with the manual one, I don't know. But that'll be Wednesday. They've got all spring flowers put in. Those bulbs that sort of come out every year. Yeah, so I'll just go and get the grass bag now and then just do other bits, and I'll be back after that. Okay, so I've done that bit now. You can see. So now it's this one to do. So this is just before everything has been done. I don't expect it to pick up too much because it was cut on like 1.8 centimeters like maybe 2 weeks ago. So it'll probably just take sort of the tops off things, just trim it a little bit, but it's springtime, you're not going to shave it all down to dirt anyway. Just trim the tops off. That looks good. Further away, it just looks all nice and thick, especially if you've got a nice straight edge in there as well. Makes it look like it's really like thick, but it does look always better than others in the street, and that's what I'm trying to do. So yeah, I'll just go around the edges, then I'll show just a quick little clip. Yeah, it's not really too bad. You can still kind of see where the when it went last time. It was just old grass and bits there, and where it went. But yeah, I'm just going to get it back to its normal height again because it looks better. Yeah, you've got all daisies in it. When you see daisies in the lawn, you know it's spring or just summer. Okay, so I've gone around the edges. It doesn't really make much difference because it's not really grown that much. Ideally, if you're going to actually make it look, it's going to make a difference. If you want it to make a difference, I show that it has been cut. You probably need to leave another week or two, probably 2 weeks. Get it more taller and thicker. That was alright, that sort of grows more. It's probably because that gets more sunlight in that bit and this man in the shade. But yeah. And the edges came round, and now I'll just cut it all and then I'll show you after. See what it looks like. Maybe I'll try and get some stripes in it with the roller. Alright, so that's done. I'll have to show you in a minute what it looks like, but this is what I got in the grass spot bag. So I mean, quite a bit of most of it's on the sides, to be honest, but the front, yeah, you can kind of tell it's been done, but very lightly. It was mainly just like it was done maybe a week ago or something, a couple of days ago, because obviously it was just still recovering from that other time. But I mean, we're getting there. This has all been done, all this as well. Without the grass bag, obviously this is a rough bit. I mean, last couple cuts it's had, well, last cuts it had this year was actually only with the strimmer, because it's just usually just easier. Just quickly strim it down and then that'll be it. A couple weeks and go back. This time I done it with the mower on the default setting. It's fine. It's just all sort of rough ground really. It just gets trimmed up every now and again just because if no one does it, it's all going to be coming over and be hard as a park. And so we're getting there. Those flowers are still there because they're still on a higher set. It doesn't really do much. It just sort of goes over them. This bit's done. And this is done as well. This was definitely more of a, you can tell, well, kind of tell that it was done. And well, picked up more bits because this side bit has just bits that are really thick and just grows more than the other bits. So you may get this on the side, it doesn't really grow much, and you have bits in the middle that just like really grow. I don't know why it does that, but you can see my shadow. So that's been done. Yeah, you can kind of tell. You can see like the stripes and stuff, faint stripes. And they were like longer bits, but it has like sort of tufty bits really, that in some of the, so it's sort of bits, like dark green bits, will just grow quite long, and the rest of it doesn't get as long as that. I don't know why. Like there was this bit, it just grows so much longer than the rest of it. But I mean, you can tell when you're looking at something, you can tell that something's been over it. Yeah, it can't be. It's the sill just recovering. Like the sort of lighter bits, like mainly here, where the moss is. This is where it went last time. It sort of just basically took it down to that moss level. So it's probably just a trim, really. Just topped it, just tied little bits up just to make it neater. And yeah, I mean obviously it kind of needed to make it a little neater, but once the daisies get longer, then you'll tell that it's been done. They kind of just get flattened. Yeah, it's been done. This bit's been done. Usually what I've done every time I've done this, or most times, is I would usually use the strimmer and, you know, go on the edges and go on the fence line and stuff. But I don't have that today. I could if I wanted to, but I can't bother. And yeah, usually just keep up this edging. But yeah, it's fine for now. So I'm just going to empty the bag into the bin. I think, yeah, that will be it for today. Tomorrow, because it's going to be, we're having nice warm days, where it's going to be like 22 degrees or whatever. We'll be going to Nan and Grandad's, because there hasn't been cut. I haven't done this for ages, so it'll be the first cut, and it's quite long apparently. The front is kind of long in place. There's this sort of this short bit where, you know, where my granddad or Nan, you know, sort of walk out like when taking the bin. So it's kind of a bit you walk on that's shorter, and it's got bits of the sides that are longer. The back always gets quite long in the first cut. There's a fluffy cat up there. Psst. Psst. So yeah, that'll be tomorrow that I'll do that, and I will just take the manual one. Also, I could take the fly mower, and that means you've got the cable to go around, and it's kind of some more effort turning around. You're going to move the cable as well, and yeah, it'll probably cut it better, but the fly mower is like the one I've got, tend to grow grass everywhere. This doesn't really, it'll collect some. You may have to go over it a couple of times, but yeah. So that'll be tomorrow. Wednesday, I think Wednesday I'll be doing the front, because that'll be in a week at that point, since the Westland stuff down. I'll just do that with either the manual or the fly mower. I have to decide more near at the time, but it will probably I'll probably just go back to the manual, to be honest with you. Because it's easy. The fly mower's right at the back of like the little storage unit we have, and it's kind of a faff trying to get out. Get everything else out first, just to get that. So it's kind of annoying. Yeah, and I think that will be it, really. I don't really have anything else. I mean, I'm out of shielding on Wednesday, because I shield again, with the lockdown and stuff. So I'm out of shielding, 31st of March, so maybe I could text my other granddad to see what his plans are for his garden. I don't know if he is still planning to returf it, if he hasn't done it already, which probably hasn't. See, I remember he said last year he was either going to returf it in the autumn, which probably hasn't happened, or in the spring, which probably hasn't happened. So I don't know if I don't want to like waste a trip over there and find out it's all been turfed and then you have to go back again. I don't know if because I haven't cut it since start of September last year, so I don't know if it's going to be like long sort of weedy grass or if it's all going to be turfed. But yeah, I'll have to see. Ask him to see if I'm going to go over there and cut it, or if it's all been turfed and stuff already. and I won't have to worry until about June or whatever, May. Yeah, so empty. This is kind of hard, sort of trying to have anything to do at the moment because obviously lockdown. You can't really go to people's houses. Well, I think you can maybe today or something. Something's changed, but it's still, not just get everyone round. So yeah, I don't know. I've still got leaflets left from last year. I'm hoping maybe at some point soon I can pass them out to see if I can actually get anyone this time. But yeah, I'm gonna empty the bag now. I would film me doing that, but it's kind of boring and I don't have a tripod thing for this. I have a tripod, but not like, the clip-on adapter for this, and the tripod we've got is broken anyway. So yeah. Day 2, I'm at my nan and granddad's doing this. This is the first cut, so it's quite long. This bit was what I was talking about. You've got this bit of this walk. Oh, I'm not taking the bins out. So I was told to leave like the little flowers, things like these ones. That's why I have to sort of leave that. Only be there a couple of weeks. Probably by the next time I cut it, they won't even be there anyway. And the back is probably going to be quite long, so yeah, it's just trimming round edges and avoiding the flowers and then just cutting it. Got the manual one, got the strimmer, and I've got the broom sweep because it's quite long, so grass going everywhere. This has died over the winter. I think frost got to it, so it's going to be cut back and it's going to be new plants put in. Yeah, so that will be done. So I'll do shimmer first, my eye goggles, then I'll do sweeping and stuff, then I'll do the mowing, and then I'll show you after. That's done. Done all the trimming, done mowing and stuff. Some of it gets flattened down so it's longer, and mainly this bit, you can't really tell some bits because this bit has been walked on all winter. But I went around these flowers and it's still quite low, still quite shortish, the grass here. A little longer over there, thicker, but this will probably last a couple of weeks. The next time whenever I do it, probably 2 weeks time, whatever, it will be all just gone by then, and I can mow over it. But yeah, it's always nice having a little spring display with like little springish flowers. They don't really exist by the summer. You've got the plants still there, but you don't really flower, just sort of leaves. So yeah, by the time it's next time I cut it, they'll probably be gone or trampled on, whatever. So this one's always a quick, easy one to do because it's small. Yeah, so now onto the back, which apparently is quite long because it usually does. It's always the back that grows more, so I guess this one gets more shade. But yeah, it just grows more. And I haven't actually done it since last summer. Well, I personally haven't. I don't know if it has been done since because of all the shielding and stuff. There was a lockdown and we couldn't go to people's houses. So yeah, I'll go to the back now.
Well, I had a cold fish shop on.